now we're just going to go into the next section, which is about the soul. Now, the soul covers spirituality, relationship, purpose. We've talked a bit about purpose. I want us to focus more, I think, in this section, I want us to focus more on spirituality and then a bit of relationship. Spirituality obviously reflects on faith.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about how finance, because some of us, when we become spiritual, everyone forgets this. They see money as an enemy. They just abandon their business as the thing of the world. But I'm so glad for the kind of spiritual family we have now, the kind of the way the gospel is preached. There's like this sort of reinvention of how the message is passed, and people are now understanding that, hey, there used to be this proverb, as poor as a church rat. You remember that? Yeah. No one says that now because we have come to understand that money is not evil. It's the love of money. So I want you to help me talk about, say some aspects of how finance and spirituality can work together from your experience. Basically, just share.
Okay, I want to start with this parable in Matthew, I think 25. Yeah, the parable about
no, it's not Bible study. Just
the talents, right? So there was someone that was given 5. Someone
10.
No, I think it's 5.
5, 10, and 1
and 3. Oh?
No, I think it was. So,
I'm gonna ask a person that they gave 1. Do you know what? Of course, we all know what that word said. I beg, this my Oga went to go and hide it.
I cannot come and kill myself.
I cannot come and kill myself. I beg. They give other people 5. They give other people 5. Me, it's me. They looked at and gave me 1. Okay,
they'll come and find that one.
And he kept it. And you know what? That parable said that person was wicked. Wicked.
Imagine.
And so the other person that multiplied, they gave him more. So look at it in our today's world. I've heard, like, there was a follower that sent me a message, and was saying that me, that I have not finished it, and you're talking about investing. Do you understand? So people have this belief that investing or organizing your finance is something for the rich. It's not when you have excess. You now start
and that is so wrong.
Absolutely. Think of the one that you assign for everyday living and for investing, but it's not like that. Investing, organizing your finance, financial discipline is all for the wise. Have you seen some rich people? Like, they're so rich, but you would never know. Meanwhile, somebody will just hit some
small hundreds of thousands,
and then the whole world knows, and you will squander that money. Let me tell you, I believe that you managing your finances is an act of service to God.
Definitely. I was going to talk about that.
It's an act of service. So whatever little thing that God has placed in your hands, please use it to do good. Please multiply it, right? Please multiply it. Don't be like that wicked servant from the parable in Matthew. Be like the one that was given and he multiplied it. So don't say that, okay, me organizing my finances. See, start from little baby steps. There's this other verse that plenty money that comes, something like that. If you make quick money, it goes away. But the one that is like little by little grows. Is in the Bible, is in Proverbs somewhere.
Okay.
So imagine, do you understand? So whatever it is that you have found to do, please do it well. And if you do it well, God that gave you that little is gracious enough to
give
multiply.
You more.
Just like that servant that had more and he multiplied it and more was given to him. Look at it like that. Whatever it is that you're doing, just do it right. Organize your finances. It's an act of service to God, because God has put something in your hands, and God is not a wasteful God
at all.
God is not a wasteful God. So if He places something in your hand, please don't waste it. Use it, multiply it, and use it to fulfill purpose.
Thank you very much. I like that you said use your finance to fulfill God's purpose. Because everything we know, our God is. I mean, just take a look at this beautiful place we're sitting in. Everything is organized. That's nature. That's God is the master architect, right? Everything He does is there's always planning, there's clarity, there's direction. So if anything comes into your hand, you have to use it to serve God. Right? I like that you mentioned that, because I was actually going to ask you a question about how you can use your finance to fulfill God's purpose, and I'm so glad you've already talked about that. It is very, very important that we understand that when God has blessed us with a talent, just like the parable,
resource, whatever it is,
use
God
it
has
to His
faith.
glory. Let your finance speak to His glory. That could mean anything, and that's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely.
And we cannot start. We'll probably have to talk about that in our next show. But for now, understand that when you're blessed with finance, you should use it for God's purpose. So now I just want us to touch a little bit about, we're talking about the soul, right? And we said it covers purpose, spirituality, and now relationship. Relationship, it relates to it talks about those who are around you, family, friends, colleagues, acquaintance. I have you now. You are my sister. We have another sister behind that camera, just for jokes. So you're my sister, and you have been my relationship with you obviously covers so many things, but in finance, you advise me in every, I always call you now, any small change, I'll just call you more, how do I do, how do I go? So can you talk about that sort of, it doesn't have to be a sister, I'm just blessed to have you as a sister who's able to fulfill that relationship need that I have. So I want you to speak to that for anyone watching. Okay, maybe you're not so good with, and you need advice, you need to have the right set of people around you. What do you say about that, Smile?
Okay, so if you're a newbie in trying to organize your finance, I would say, like I said earlier, once you define your financial goal, the next very important step is for you to draft a budget. You can get an Excel sheet. In fact, there are apps now that you can download that tracks your spending. But let's just make it basic. Just get Excel, just an Excel sheet, or budget, a notebook. Just write, okay, every month I make 100,000 naira, right? What are my needs? So 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, right? And 20% for savings and investments. See, even if your salary is less than 100,000 naira, it's enough for you to save. You can start saving with as little as 5,000. There are different apps now. You can open a mutual fund now. Stanbic IBTC, there's a host of them. You start investing there. You have that money. See, it's just practice. The thing is consistency. Now you have little and you've started practicing this. By the time your millions come, it will be so seamless for you to continue doing it because you have practiced it. You have been consistent in doing that. But if you're saying that, oh, I'll wait till I hammer, I assure you, when you hammer, it will be very hard for you to do it because it's not in you. It's not something that you've been doing, but it will be seamless if it's something that you've started practicing. And another thing I also realize, if you can, please get an accountability partner. Someone that you trust, someone that you share the same values with. Be that person for someone too. So it's not just about you just taking from people. Who you want to be, who you want somebody to be that person too. So find an accountability partner, set targets together, check in on each other. If it's monthly, weekly, and all of that, do that, and it will help you. So you can start from there. Then you now, move on to more investments in the future after you've organized your finance.
So thank you so much for clearing that out. While you were speaking, I just when you talked about accountability partner, it made me think about a conversation you and I were having the other day about the kind of people you have around you. If you're that kind of friend that when you hammer, they'll be like, let's go and paint.
Let's
paint purple, let's pop it, let's go
red.
Red.
The city is already red.
It's red. It is very red. If you are not aware that the city is red, just step outside and see what's happening. You know that the city is red.
So it doesn't need your money.
It doesn't need your red. So you need a kind of your association should be the kind of people that when very you important. Say, oh, I just got a raise, for instance. Oh, I just started this business and I made profit. They say, you are supposed to. So you already have weeks that you don't in this heat. Who wants to be carrying it? Do you understand? Or when you call them and say, oh, they just someone just gave me or a parent gave me up to 1 million. Nobody will say you should not go on holiday. But you need the kind of you need people around you that will say, how have you been investing? How much investment have you done this quarter? For instance,
have we met your target?
Have you met your just like what you do for me? You remember end of last year how we all sat down as a family.
And I made everybody. We made everybody draft out their own portfolio.
You were the one collecting everyone's portfolio, and you sat on us and made sure we all submitted that to you before the end of the year, and you gave us what our targets would be. And this quarter that just ended, remember we sat down and we still talked about this you need to diversify your portfolio, that sort of thing. So I mean, you need to have that sort of. It could even be your boss in the office, someone you trust, someone that you admire.
It can be your spouse. It can be your sister. That's a topic for
another day.
But it helps you. And I wanted to chip in something, Taiwa.
Okay.
So you hear us say all these things about ourselves, and you're probably thinking, oh, these girls have it all put together. Please, we're all learning. we are all learning.
We learn work.
And it's not something, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So please don't say, okay, these people, no, everybody has something they need to learn and improve on. So don't say, okay, we're saying these things and we know it. No, we don't know all of it. We're also learning as we move along. So it's something that you should also have it at the back of your mind, that you will get there someday and you will exceed. Do you understand? So don't say these people, okay, no, I'm not ready. This one is not for me. Please, it's for everybody. Finance is very important. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
And if they're just basic principles. Do you know that you do not have, you don't have to even be a Christian for these principles to work for you.
You're right. Yeah, definitely.
People
definitely
follow these principles, and they get it right. They get it
when
right.
it comes to finance. It's principle. It's
just
principle,
something.
just
You
like
cannot
a lot of
be
things. Yeah,
living above your means, and you cannot be doing something. You cannot be spending anyhow. Just every latest thing that comes, you go and buy. I did a couple of videos, strategies to how to just manage your finances. You can go on my YouTube page, Most Brave, and you'll see some of these videos and watch them. And you can adopt those steps. And I assure you that baby steps, and you would get there.
Thank you so much, Maura. Baby steps, and you get there. So I love that she also touched on the fact that we might be just making jokes here about, oh, we did this, we did that, but there's so many other things that we're also working on. I'll still use this opportunity to still talk about the Life Audit sheet. Please try and download it and fill it. It will take you nothing more than 2 hours. I mean, you have the whole year. Why not use just a few? How many hours do you have in the year 2025 by the grace of God? Why not just take an hour or two, sit down, find a quiet place, and when you're feeling it, it's just between you, yourself, and you yourself. And it's just about between you and God. Yeah. So just sit down and audit yourself, and you see where you're lacking, where you need to step up, and you'll be surprised. There might be areas that you think you were not even doing well.
Absolutely.
And there's just this awesome satisfaction.
Yes, I was about to say that because Taiwa forced me actually to do this Life Audit.
I forced everyone.
She forced everybody. Made us in fact, she printed
I printed it out.
I brought it to my house for myself and my husband, and she insisted that we check it out, and it was very enlightening. So there were areas of my life that I didn't even realize how blessed I was in those areas. And I was filled with gratitude. And then surprisingly, those areas that I thought I was above average,
you saw that.
I realized that I wasn't there at all, and I opened my eyes to where I needed to work on where I needed to improve and all of that. And please just go, and I mean, the first quarter is gone, but it doesn't mean anything. You still have
it's never late. It's not late. You still
9 months in the year to get some things aligned. So go download it and just go through it, and you'll be amazed at those areas that you probably thought you were doing well, and those areas that you thought you were doing badly, and then you realize that you're actually not doing that bad.
So it's funny that we're talking about the fact that we are not perfect. So the last aspect is actually on the body.
Hi, welcome back. So what you just watched was the second segment of this podcast, which we talked about the soul, and how it aligns with your finances. We gave an example with the parable of the talents that was that can be found in Matthew 25, and how, as a person, your finance and your soul, your purpose in life aligns. And what God has placed in you to use, you use it well. No matter how little, no matter how big, it's still something that can be multiplied. So, and then we're moving now to the
next. So the next, like she said, this was part 2. The final part is the one on the body and finance, and we're going to still have Moral from Most Brief here, a financial educator, giving us practical tips on how our finance and our body can align, how we can ensure our health, our well-being, our self-care can be used to make sure that we keep our body in best shape, and also make sure that we don't consume all our finances. So don't forget to share your comments. And then questions.
Please, if you have questions, drop them in the comment section, and we'll talk about it in our subsequent episodes and videos. All right.
So see you then. Bye.
Bye.